L-E-T-S-G-O.
Let's go, Eagles.
Oh,
L-E-T-S-G-O. Let's go. I don't even know where that came from. So
you said, let's go. We're ready. And I said,
let's go.
L-E-T-S-G-O.
Welcome back. So I just want to preface this really fast. It's been a while. It has been a while, but we are filming on a Sunday in my living room, which means the husband is building something in the garage.
The
dogs, kids. So
thanks.
that's life. Let's take our shots really fast. And before I forget, subscribe, like, share. Yeah. And follow us on Instagram.
Oh, we have fancy glasses today.
Yeah. Cheers. God, it's been a long time.
And we're gonna film a bunch today. My pee's gonna be neon.
That was huge.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, but it was cold.
Oh.
It was chilled. Thank you.
Okay,
so it has been a while, and let me explain. So, life. One, the Bakers were sick since
a long time.
Super Bowl week until
Last week?
this was it this Monday?
Today's February 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl week, we had
6th or 7th.
Yes.
The week before that is when you got sick. You got sick like on the 1st or 2nd.
Yes.
I decided, you convinced me to do my cabinets. And you're like, oh, help.
Yeah. And
I'll
then
be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then she was sick. And I was like,
I
God,
was
help
there
me.
Tuesday,
You
and then
did
part
come
of the
over
day Friday.
Or you came over 2 different days.
But we had a
The best feeling.
GI issue. And like normally they're like 24 hours. This was like a week, over a week.
And then you kind of had headaches and coughs.
And then I'm positive that we had COVID. I'm not positive as in the test was not positive, but I don't even believe the test because I don't know what else we would have had.
I got a COVID test during the same time. So when I was working on my cabinets, we had spent a day together.
I drank after.
Something.
You had me try a sip of your cold brew
and you
nitro.
kind of had GI issues then, and then a headache. And I woke up with a headache and a sore throat. And I thought, oh, it's just from sanding cabinets and breathing in the dust and this and that. That's why I have a headache and a sore throat. But then we both were kind of sick, but it's not like we were down and out sick.
No. But then I got...
And so I was like, I need to get a COVID test so I don't like send the girls to school when we have COVID, or, you know, people come over to help me with cabinets and I give them COVID. Like, that would suck. That'd be shitty. Crappy. Whoops.
It's okay. They're
no
gone.
kids.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, I got a test and it was negative.
And then that next week, I had, the kids, Rudy brought it home, is what happened. He started to get like upper respiratory issues, coughing. He had an asthma attack. He was all stuffed up. He had a sore throat. Emery had a sore throat. Sophie had a sore, then I got the sore throat. And that lasted a while.
Yeah,
when
we were gonna
quarantined,
film then, and you're like, all the kids are sick, and then like a few days later we were gonna film, and you're like, I'm sick now.
And
so we literally haven't filmed then.
And because the weather was terrible already, they had canceled school, so my kids thankfully ended up being quarantined over like
school
canceling, weekend, all of that, and then I quarantined myself the 10 days too, just to make sure. Even though it came back negative, I still was like, I just don't know what else.
Yeah, because I think if you get tested too early on in your symptoms, it can be a false negative too.
But yeah, it was. We're fine.
Our family, my kids never really got. They had a runny nose a little bit.
Oh, my kids.
Billy and I had a cough and like
the upper respiratory crap.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm finally healthy. I have a lingering
cough. So we probably had COVID. What else? I've been remodeling my house.
Like totally.
The cabinets are done. Interior paint happened last week.
I suggested painting the cabinets, and the next thing I know, I'm in Benjamin Moore picking out a paint stain for her stair banister. And I'm like...
So I have the stair railing, you know, and it was the same orangey oak as the old cabinets were. And I was like, that can't stay.
No, and it made sense. I just didn't know we were like...
Well, yeah, if you're going to
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So, and then the flooring was delivered. We're doing whole new flooring throughout the main level. That was delivered the other day.
You're doing new stair carpet too, right?
New stair carpet and new wood or LVP or whatever it's called throughout the main floor. And then we just need to pick out lighting fixtures.
Kind of backsplash.
Oh, yeah, backsplash.
Well,
and then I need some rugs. I need help with rugs.
Rugs.
Because
I can do rugs.
Once that flooring comes in, I'm going to need rugs. Like,
yeah, you will. Because it will feel like bare.
And
You'll
cold,
need rugs.
and the kids like running around. I'm kind of worried about.
So I also told Rachel I had a funny story about Rudy, and she doesn't know it.
So wait,
like,
this episode is all, we're just catching up.
Yeah,
we haven't even
we
seen
should,
each other.
yeah.
So
We're
we're
just
just telling
catching
you
up
what's been
because
happening in the last month.
we've
and
been
each other.
sick. So, well, I've been sick. Oh, and it was Emery's birthday. She is now 6.
So many things have happened in the
Yeah,
last month.
I know. So, Rudy,
You haven't told me this.
yeah, this was my little funny story. So, the other day, I don't even know how to say this. So, we didn't know at the time, but apparently, somehow his balls were chafed. I was unaware of this, and I put peanut butter on them and they were healed. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, wait, what? And Tyler's like, I heard about this yesterday. And I'm like, heard about what exactly? So apparently that was going on down there. And he's in a lot of sports. And so, and this is kind of happened before, but normally like I just give him like, here, take this Lotrimin and do your thing, you know? I'm not involved. So anyways, so he has the tendency to go Google everything like I do.
Oh, peanut
So
butter.
apparently peanut butter cures chafed balls. And he's like, and it worked. They're healed. So he used peanut butter on his balls. No, get back, Phyllis.
Okay, so
But so
have
this
you done
is the
this
thing.
laundry since? Do you see
No,
that? So how did that get everywhere?
I don't know. And then I'm like, what peanut butter did he use? Because I
Did you
eat
use
peanut
your
butter
hands
every day, and he is not like sanitary.
Did you throw the
honestly,
peanut butter out?
no, because at that I just finished an entire jar. And like, so I hadn't opened the next jar, but I ate a lot of peanut butter. Like I eat a lot of peanut. In fact, I have bedside peanut butter. And in my head, I'm like, please God, don't make it be the bedside peanut butter. Please don't. But I didn't ask because I don't want to know. Because if I know, I'm always going to know. Because I promise you, whatever jar of peanut butter he used, there's like ball juice in it now. Because I just know him. I know him.
Chafed ball juice.
So yeah, apparently peanut butter is a cure-all.
So tell your husbands if they ever have issues.
I told Tyler, said, you know how that cures everything? It's a little insight.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter
Peanut
cures
butter.
everything, apparently.
Mhm, yeah.
Hunger and chafed
I
balls.
just can't. I can't. And I'm like, if that ever happens again, you come to me and I'll get you your own jar of peanut butter and it will only be for your balls. Like, why am I even saying this? Like, why should I ever have to say this?
I bet the Rudy story was, so the other day, I call Amanda and I'm like, oh, if you're bored, I'm now painting. Oh yeah, I painted my bathroom cabinets too.
So she's
When
already
the
like
kids-
swamped with shit and she's like, hey, do you have any black spray paint? And I'm like, yeah, for what? And she's like, well, I just decided to redo the bathroom. And I'm like, whoa there, let's like slow a roll and get something done.
Well, I had the girls at school and the painters started, or no, my mom took the girls on Wednesday. That's when the painters arrived. And they're like, what stain color are we painting the railing? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, go to Sherwin-Williams. And Billy went, and they only had 2 colors of stain, and they were both horrible. I was like, no, like, no. They said it had to be gel stain, and Sherwin-Williams only had 2 gel stains. So I go to Benjamin Moore, which is
I came to the rescue.
Amanda, and I'm like, well, she was going to come over and bring the spray paint and like talk me through my
And your vacuum was broken, so I was
design
going to bring her a
crisis.
vacuum.
Yeah. Well,
It's okay. It's okay. She
I'll bring
forgot the
it back
vacuum. It's not a big deal. Anyways, so I was going to come over anyways, and Benjamin
sneezing.
Moore is like not even 5 minutes from our house. So she's like, will you stop there? I need to pick a stair stain. And I had not even
You're
heard.
like, "A what?"
Yeah, I had not, this has not even been mentioned. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So we go there, and Sophie was with me because she's in hybrid. And Sophie said that we walked in and that all the guys, because it's just guys in there, right? And Rachel's literally Sophie's like, I've never heard a phone that loud. Rachel has her speaker phone up, and everybody can hear her conversation with Billy. And there's just guys in there, and I walk in, with my sunglasses and my fur. I'm like, we look like a walking shit show. Sophie said that when we walked in,
I look homeless.
yes, she saw the guys like smirk, like, oh, what's going on here? So
I walked in, I was like, I need some help.
Yeah, and I come up, and I'm talking to the guy behind the counter, and I'm like, do you have like an empty paint can? We'll buy it. And I'm like, I'll explain in a second. I'm like, I'm pretty much her designer. And she's talking, and I'm like, her husband's an idiot. Just ignore what he says. And I didn't mean that as an idiot in general. I just meant regarding...
Well, because he's like, the Sherwin-Williams guy says you can't mix stain. And so we were having a custom stain going to be mixed at Sherwin-Williams. I mean, I was like, how do you
get a custom stain? Duh! So I talked, what was his name? Elroy, something like that. So I was talking to him. He was very nice. Carl, that was Carl. And I'm like, Carl, and I'm like, how else do you think they make a custom stain? And I'm like, yes, you have to pay attention. You can't mix a gel with a wipe on, but if they're both gel, totally cool. And he's like, you're right. Like, he's like, this girl knows her shit. I know that's what he was thinking.
So anyways, long story short, we picked out a really like dark, almost black one, and then like a really light gray one, and mixed like 4 parts dark, 1 part light. And my railing looks great.
And I knew it would. And she was nervous. Even when they put it on, she was nervous. It's going to be
darker than the flooring, like not matching, but it's
you
like...
want a contrast.
Yes, it's a good contrast, and it's like the same like family tone. If that makes sense.
So here's a tip for you. So it's really hard to match stains because wood, the type of wood stains different. They don't all stain the same. So
and they asked what type of wood the railing was when.
Who knows? It was built in like 1998. So we don't know. So don't try and match the stain, especially on 2 different types of wood. Do contrasting stains, because when you try and match it, it looks like you messed up. Right. Yes. If it's a contrast, it looks like it's purposeful. Stay in the same tone family, though. Don't do warm and cool. Yours were both cool, so we both did cool.
Right. Oh, and when the painters so they started Wednesday and then 1 coat of the paint we had picked out.
Okay, and this was, you did not ask me about the paint.
No, and I let Billy's like, we need to pick paint out. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I literally said, why did you let him pick the paint out?
He sent me 2. He sent me 1.
Paint samples.
And I was like, no, it's too gray. He sent me another one. I was like, sure, whatever. So I let him like kind of go with that.
And she showed me the paint. I was like, oh, and you showed me the swatch. And I was like, oh, in my head.
I showed you a swatch. I showed you a picture of it.
No. You showed me a swatch that day. And in my head, I'm like, this is too cool. But I didn't say anything. I was like, oh.
No, because you mentioned the blues. And then when I looked, so Wednesday they got like 1 coat of paint done. And I was like, this isn't gray, this is blue. Like it looked like a very, very light blue.
And I knew that was going to happen.
And I was like, oh.
So she sent me a picture.
And she's like, it looks blue. And I was like, oh, dang, I thought so too.
And I didn't want it
to be like cold, feeling in the house.
You wanted a neutral gray.
The floor and the railing and stuff is already cooler toned.
You don't want to go warm, but you want to go neutral.
Yeah. So Wednesday they did 1 coat of paint. Thursday they were staining and sealing the railing.
But you sent me a picture, and I was like, okay, it's okay, because I knew she'd freak out. And I'm like, we have 2 options here. Either you can get a more neutral paint in gray, or we can warm everything up with
decor,
curtains and upholstery and rugs, and bring in warm to counteract the cool. Does that make sense? But and I was worried you didn't think you could change it.
I was worried the painters would be like, no, you can't change the paint. We bought 10 gallons of this, and it's how you have done. And so I was like, I texted him early the next morning, and I'm like, Sue, could you go buy some agreeable gray? Because I was like, first I was like, the railing looks awesome. It looks great. You guys did an excellent job.
But,
and I said, you're gonna hate me. I hate the paint color.
And this is before she said, she's like, what? She goes, I don't think we can change the paint. I'm like, that's fine. And she's like, but if we do, and I was going to tell her to do agreeable gray because it's a neutral gray.
Oh, yeah.
And
it kind of color
picks up the tones of whatever.
It's so much more. I'm not even going to send you a picture to show you until you come over when the flooring's done. I'm not going to let anybody else over to my house till the flooring's in, because then it'll be like...
But then she sent me agreeable gray without me even mentioning it, and I'm like, that's exactly what I was gonna suggest.
Yes.
So she thought, and this was, and I want to say this. This is a good tip.
Billy's like, you're right on the paint. It looks so much better. And I'm like, look at him being like, he thinks he knows like all this interior, and he thinks since he's a landscaper and good at landscape design, that
does not
to
translate into interior.
Completely different.
No. The stupid Santas.
That's just his passion.
I'm
not really
sorry,
decorating.
but it's terrible. Okay, so
Okay, what else is
ugly.
new?
Okay, but I want to say this about gray paint. Rachel thought it's gray. Gray's easy. I don't know how gray I think is one of the hardest shades to pick because it's really hard to find a neutral gray. Most gray either pulls warm or pulls cool. You have to specifically ask for a neutral gray.
I really love that new perfume, by the way.
Thanks. Oh, so I got new perfume. So I don't typically buy perfume for myself because that's weird, right? But I got this little sample thing for Christmas from Yaya, and I found this perfume, and I'm like, oh, I love that. And so I went to Ulta, and I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere, and I didn't know how to say it. So I go up to the lady, and she's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a perfume. It's O-U-A-I. And she's like, oh, that's O-A. O-A. And I'm like,
it smells really good.
But it sounds so pretentious. Like, I almost didn't buy it just because the name sounded so pretentious, but it's taken me away.
So, how much was it? Is it expensive? Like,
no, I think it was 56.
Oh, that's not bad for that bottle.
No. So it's actually a hair. Initially, it's a hair. They make stuff for hair. Yeah, and everybody loves the smell of their hair stuff so much that they brought out. There's two perfumes. There's Melrose Place and some other one. I got Melrose Place. It's a good perfume though. I like it.
So Melrose Place.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to buy that.
It's nice. What else is new? Oh, this is what I told Rachel. Okay, so center parts do not look good on most people. Okay, they don't, because unless your face is perfectly symmetrical, a center part is just going to draw attention that your face is not symmetrical. And you know what? Skinny jeans look great on me. So all you little
what are the new
young people
jean
I don't
style?
even
Aren't they
know.
The like literal what my grandma used to wear? They're like high and baggy in there, and like I think that's the new style. I'm like, please don't make me wear
this thing. I don't even care if that's a new style.
So
I'm not going to do it. I don't like. Okay, I told Rachel the only time I liked a center part on me was when I had bangs, and my hair didn't lay right without a center part, right? But that's like Marsha Brady. If you don't know who that is, like you're young. You shouldn't be watching us. Ew. Whenever I think of center part, I just think of like
slicked down.
Yes, like I just don't like it.
It's not so.
I'm not crazy about it. These sleeves, they're like bell, and I feel like whenever I move, like
wings.
Oh, that's kind of a cool look. Anyways. So yeah, I don't care if center parts and ugly jeans are in. I am sticking to my skinny jeans and crazy waist side part that goes back and forth throughout the day.
Yeah, ditto.
And if that makes me dated, so be it.
Ditto.
Was there anything else we were gonna mention? Oh, you started talking about the story that you thought I was gonna tell about Rudy.
Oh yeah. Oh, because that day when we did the stain and Sophie was with us, so Sophie and Amanda and I hung out for a little bit, and then they left, and whatever, picked up the other kids. But Sophie, what did she say?
She had to clean the bathroom.
Oh, Sophie had to clean the bathroom.
The kids' bathroom.
Rudy shit on the floor, and I was like, And she's like, and it was not Emery's. It was Rudy. I was like, Rudy's like 11. What do you mean?
There was literally. I did not take part in this. There was literally a turd on the floor.
How does that happen? How do you miss the
toilet? I don't. I have no words. I just remember, and I don't know if you have not been with us since the beginning. I told a story one time where I had his shit on my face because he wiped his ass with a towel. So we have had lots of instances with
Rudy and feces
and balls. When Sophie told me that, I'm like, you're kidding. And she's like, no, it was a legit turd. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like, I'm so glad I do not know, Rachel. Like, this is like, what is he doing? Like, and then he's like, woo, woo. Like, how does that happen?
Or did he like shit his pants and then try to go throw it in the toilet and he missed?
He's 11. If he's shitting his pants, we have big problems. Even bigger than poop on the floor, possibly.
I mean, shitting your pants happens. If you got like a GI issue, but I get that. No
yeah,
judgment
but
for
okay,
shitting
so
pants
Tyler said that Tyler has like walked in on him when he was using the restroom, and Tyler says that when he's like literally pants down and he's like walking around with toilet paper, I don't know. I don't know if he stood up to get. I don't know. I have no words because I cannot
have to walk to get it out. Or
I don't know. It's just gross. I don't. Like this. Why are we talking about his shit again? I don't. I'm tired of it. It's been 11 years. We shouldn't have an issue anymore. And now I might have had ball peanut butter. Like.
I guess it would just add a little salt.
And that's everybody's like, I just like boys are so much easier. I'm like, really?
You want
take a
turds on
page
your floor
from my
and
book.
Juice
Yeah,
peanut butter?
no. Or feces on your face? No, you don't. I can promise you don't. So deal with the little meltdowns girls have, like any day of the week. Easy.
Oh, I don't know though. We went to dinner last night with Tom and Beth, and there was like homecoming or some sort of like young
it's probably like winter formal.
Young girls there with like little dresses on.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth and Tom like, look, that's gonna be Peyton and Parker there, and they're like, young and kind of like
Rachel's
skinny.
gonna
I'm
be like,
oh no,
hell no.
And Billy's like, oh, screw you guys, that's not gonna be my daughter. And I was like,
and I'll be
my
like,
God, it's gonna be our girls.
ooh, look at this dress. Like,
yeah, and Amanda's gonna be taking him.
I love homecoming. Like, I love the fancy dresses.
Yeah, but they don't need to look like.
Well, I'm not gonna hooch them up, but.
And then Beth's like, oh, that girl right there, she's definitely giving him a blowjob tonight. And I was like, Beth, you just compared her to Peyton in a few years. And
Okay,
Beth
does not have children, so
no. And
that's
I was like, oh God,
evident.
oh God, oh God.
So, that was our random catch up.
That was February.
I'm sure that we've forgotten stuff
lot.
that happened in
A lot.
February. Oh, one other thing that did happen, I think it was February. So maybe someday Rachel and I may become trailer park owners. Just a little PS. It's my dream now, but they're gonna be Bougie AF trailers. So keep that in mind.
That's where our business meeting led us. Is trailer park owners.
I think it's fabulous. In fact, Tyler brought up, I think I brought it up, and then
we were talking about starting to maybe flip houses and homes or have rental properties.
But the market
as a
is
business
terrible
and stuff.
right now to buy a home.
And then
Like,
we were
to
talking
flip.
about glorified like double wide trailers and like fixing
And
those
I
up and making
said,
those really glam, and then doing that for the whole trailer park and then we turned into owning a trailer park of these glam.
Yeah, and I'm like, even the gym is gonna be a trailer. I mean, it's gonna be a Bougie AF trailer park. So that's on the horizon, people. If you want to secure your place in this Bougie AF trailer park, comment down below. So that wraps up this very random episode, but I feel like we needed this.
Yeah, we had to get that all out.
Purge. So the next
So
time
that our next vlogs won't be like all about
yes.
I didn't tell you this and this
And why we had a huge absence, because we've done so good at consistently posting, and then everything went to hell in a handbasket. My family has been sick every February since Emery was born. So the year Emery was born, we were not sick. Every February since then, we have been sick. We've had the flu. Remember last year? Mm-hmm.
It was bad last year.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, we are going to wrap this up, and we have a fun one next.
So see y'all soon.
Bye.